by-election calls for issue-based voting over personality politics. West Garo Hills begin special electoral roll revision, door-to-door voter verification to start from June 30th. Civil Aviation Minister K. Ramohan Naidu inaugurates first Easy Connect flight from Varanasi. And Amazon announces $48 billion investment in India by 2030 after CEO Andy Jassy meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The news in detail, and first the local news. The Meghalaya Congress has begun preparations for the upcoming Shillong parliamentary by-election, with party leaders urging voters to focus on ideology and governance rather than individual personalities. Speaking to the media in Shillong, MPCC General Secretary Manuel Batwar said the by-election is an opportunity for voters to support parties committed to democratic values and constitutional principles. He expressed confidence that the Congress would mount a strong challenge in the contest.
So I believe that, come what may, it is the duty of the public at large to understand that you have to look beyond candidature, you have to look beyond personalities, you have to go to exactly what the Congress stands for or what the other different parties stand for. And see what work has been done by this party to ensure that the democratic process is still under control, the secularism is still there within the constitution of the country, and more importantly, I think it's very important that we as a community, the smaller section of the Indian diaspora, we as a community, we're still very small, so we need to align ourselves with the party. There's no denying about that. And it's very important that, we speak one language when we go to Delhi. It is not that we're fragmented in that case.
The Office of the Deputy Commissioner Election West Garo Hills has announced a special intensive revision of electoral roll as directed by the Election Commission of India. Booth-level officers will conduct house-to-house verification from June 30th to July 29, distributing and collecting enumeration forms from all eligible voters. The draft electoral roll will be published on August 5th, followed by a month-long period for claims and objections. Deputy Commissioner Vibhor Agarwal has appealed to citizens to cooperate fully with officials to ensure the successful completion of the revision exercise. A program marking the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking was held in Shillong today under the theme Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan Viksit Bharat Ki Pehchan. Speaking at the event, Mimhan's psychiatrist Dr. W. Shira stressed that individuals battling addiction should be treated with care and support rather than stigma. The program featured inspiring recovery stories from former addicts and discussions on tackling drug abuse through counseling, rehabilitation, family support and community participation. The event was organized by the Good Samaritan Society with support from the Social Welfare Department.
International Day, World Drug Day, World Drug Problem, persisting issues, new challenges, and innovative responses. Tikani ka penpau, makani ka jing kam day, tang hakari jungi. Andre ka katarun ya barok way ka persay. But habangiya kun, ya kani ka problem. Kam day tang na benda ka government, niya kam day tang na benda ka sector. Handai kadai ya baro kum ki bahayeng bahasam kisnong tha bat kiseng bhalang ro kumju. Day tang daga jing ya tre lang, but not ti lang bania kun ya kani bangin yo ya kajingjam.
Residents of Maukarwat have raised serious concerns over a transformer substation that becomes submerged during heavy rainfall, posing a potential threat to pedestrians and school children. President of the Seng Samla Shnong Maukarwat, Kitbor Singh Lingdor, alleged that repeated complaints to Meghalaya Energy Corporation Limited have gone unaddressed despite inspections and assurances. He warned that if immediate steps are not taken to elevate or relocate the transformer, the community may launch stronger action to safeguard public safety.
Ting lay syak lay up naduk jong benai feb nakaliang jong kasnong nrai haduk menta wat lada tu kasingi nakaliang jong kibreu napok mi ICL kelawan ban jurep nrai kelas sekolah teketin bikin salah ai nok mardor nrai kayong sak kumne bat kadok kajing thai mat kapor kani kajaka bat kajing bethai ke bajur kalajia menen kamit don bok bakhan don kajing jia ke baskusi kumtangi mak syuban up nakaliang jong Seng Samla ya kata kajingwan jong pi napok ke department mi ICL ban maramot ani ban sna ya kene kajing dawa jong kasdong ban pintiu kham hajurong mo makan kajing thut ban lek bahai kene kajaka namar kene kajaka baki bir ki yat ki yeng om tang makakta ya kajing dulat man kapor kajing don light nrai kalakta ru kapna pensong siru ya kinong let nyangwan.
The Meghalaya Administrative Training Institute today conducted a one-day capacity building program on the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act at Circuit House, Mairang, for internal committee members from various government departments in East and West Khasi Hills district. The training focused on empowering committee members to effectively address workplace sexual harassment cases, with sessions covering complaint procedures, legal responsibilities, confidentiality norms, and best practices for ensuring safe, inclusive, and respectful work environments. The Block Resource Management Committee today welcomed the MEPRF mission team to Longkalo village under the Alternative Livelihood Program. Officials and community leaders highlighted the growth potential of Lakadong turmeric and collective farming as sustainable income sources for local farmers. Speakers stressed the importance of farmer-producer groups in improving market access, securing financial support, and building local brands. The visit also included cultural performances, certificate distribution, and a site inspection of the community livelihood project aimed at reducing dependence on coal mining and strengthening rural livelihoods.
Everyone cannot be a miner, everyone cannot be a doctor, everyone cannot be an engineer. So you have to draw from your strength. And what is the strength of a society? The strength are from the farmers. So this fund which is being utilized, it is a very small fund. Our state is poised to become the leading organic hub where besides turmeric, ginger and other produce will be further value added and for marketing not only within our country but even abroad. So you see there is a lot of opportunity for the farmers here.
Hikai kipi untuk rupa urat ni hikai kipi ke business plan nakalaya wakaman urat ni marat yang pi snong wamput idu ha ni kayau la kembali ni kayau cuai dari yoko yomi sabar ke jela in a form of a brand ni ke branding ke pertu ke group yang pi ni ha pun sin chami mo mandalai le ke group pun to yo ai ni ha ye penmiat tu ia kerkom ia ke marlong ile uang ke value addition.
The Good Samaritan Society has provided counseling to more than 200 individuals battling addiction since launching its counseling outreach and drop-in center at Kleyodo last year. Chairman H.S. Suting said 35 individuals opted for treatment, with several successfully completing rehabilitation and rebuilding their lives. However, he noted that lack of employment opportunities remains a major hurdle for recovering addicts. The society has welcomed the government's proposal for a halfway home, saying it could play a crucial role in preventing relapse and supporting long-term recovery.
Itu IP nadu bangi sedang long very good respond. Very good respond. Kiwan hangtei kibawan kidai kini kibalus hope sudah. Dan cuk menum bapet. Te hadin bangi la MNC miki kilawan te kibon ngong pi kat kum record bangi yo mangi kibawan ngilai seling la palat aspa ngot. Te kibala long ready ban keep up yau new drugs la long life process ngot. Te ngi mentang ngi la pa iki siapa rehab center te kumel pilai i kibala light pongut te ba kiba la tre la ke jong ke kam ke jam kila don laingut te arngut mentan pi ki don ni te rei kini ba relapse kalong ba ki ong ngi kwa kam ai kam rei kum society ngim palat ban le kunuk dong ni chu ai tang counseling encouragement yaki.
Now moving ahead to the regional news. Search and rescue operations have intensified in K. Panyor district after flash floods triggered by heavy rainfall left 4 people missing and claimed 1 life. Teams from the Indian Air Force, SDRF, police and local authorities are conducting extensive search efforts, while helicopters have been deployed to airlift rescue personnel and equipment. The floods damaged homes, caused landslides and cut off several districts from the rest of the state. Chief Minister Pema Khandu has assured full government support as restoration and relief operations continue across the affected areas. Now for the national news. Civil Aviation Minister K. Ram Mohan Naidu today inaugurated the first Easy Connect flight from Varanasi, marking the launch of a new hub-and-spoke model aimed at amplifying international travel from non-metro cities. Operated by Air India, the service allows passengers to complete check-in and immigration at their departure airport before seamlessly connecting through Delhi to destinations such as Dubai, Colombo, Jeddah, Riyadh, Kathmandu and Phuket. Speaking on the occasion, the minister said the initiative will transform air travel across India, adding that 6 more airports will join the network in the coming weeks.
तो 2 चीजें हैं, एक ये एयरपोर्ट वैसे तो एनसीआर के लिए, दिल्ली के लिए तो है ही, बट हमें ये भी देखना पड़ेगा कि ये नोएडा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट का कैचमेंट एरिया दिल्ली से भी बढ़कर है। काफी सारे शहर हैं वेस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश जिसके लिए ये नोएडा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट एक बेस बनेगा, और इसका नेटवर्क क्योंकि इसके साथ बहुत ही अच्छी एक्सप्रेसवे नेटवर्क है, तो खास करके इसका पोटेंशियल हमारा आगरा तक भी पहुंचता है। जब यहाँ से इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट्स की इंटरनेशनल ऑपरेशन भी शुरुआत होंगी तो करोड़ों लोगों के लिए एयरपोर्ट की होगी, तो इसके लिए जो भी अलग से भी रोड कनेक्टिविटी या रेल कनेक्टिविटी की हो, तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश ने भी बहुत अच्छी प्लानिंग करी है कि इस एयरपोर्ट को काफी सारे जगहों से, शहरों से इसको जुड़े, तो वो लगातार वो कोशिश चलता रहेगा।
Union Prime Minister Manohar Lal Khattar today said energy is key to economic growth, social progress and human development while addressing the 11th BRICS Energy Ministers meeting in Gurugram. He highlighted India's rapid expansion renewable energy, smart grids and energy storage, noting that the country has emerged as a global leader in solar and energy deployment. Qatar also called for greater support for developing nations facing the brunt of climate challenges. The two-day meeting is focusing on energy security, sustainability, equitable access and innovation.
Recognize that developing countries are often affected more severely by global climate challenges despite contributing far less to their causes. Therefore, they require adequate time, resources and policy space to meet the legitimate aspirations of their people. India assumes the BRICS chairship at a time when the global energy landscape is undergoing a profound transformation. Guided by the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister and the BRICS chairship theme, building for resilience, innovation, cooperation and sustainability, India seeks to strengthen BRICS cooperation toward building energy systems that are resilient, future-ready, technologically advanced, environmentally sustainable and people-centric.
Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh today released the memoir, Second Orbit, Believe of a Man, Dream, 1.5 billion Hearts, by Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla at the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya in New Delhi. The book traces Shukla's remarkable journey from fighter pilot to astronaut and his historic Axiom 4 mission to the International Space Station. Speaking on the occasion, the Air Chief said the memoir would inspire future generations to dream big and achieve excellence. The event also marked the anniversary of Shukla's landmark Axiom 4 mission launch on June 25 last year.
It's a great, honor to be here today for this, for sharing this, journey of Subhanshu Shukla. He's put it down very nicely, and I have not yet read the book. I'll read the book and thereafter realize. But whatever little has been spoken, I think it's a great motivator for all the coming generation.
And of course, the experience was unimaginable, something that I had never expected, never anticipated. I was there for 20 days, went around the earth 320 times, and each day saw 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets. So there is no good way for me to share all that experience with all of you. The closest that I can come is, I think, through this book, that I'm trying to share this entire experience with you, the Second Orbit. Being involved with machines all my life, initially flying for the Indian Air Force as a fighter pilot and then as a test pilot, and then working with the technicalities of the space mission, it was a very big challenge for me to not use those technical jargons and keep it simple so that everybody understands.
Now the international news. Amazon has announced a massive $48 billion investment in India between 2026 and 2030, following a meeting between CEO Andy Jassy and Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The investment will expand Amazon's presence in e-commerce, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, logistics and digital services. Welcoming the move, the Prime Minister said it reflects growing global confidence in India and will create new opportunities for the country's youth. Amazon expects the investment to support millions of jobs, boost exports and extend AI benefits to small businesses and students across India.
We've invested $40 billion since the year 2010. And at the end of last year, we announced that we were going to invest another $35 billion in India between 2026 and 2030. And we just announced today that we're going to increase that amount from $35 billion to an incremental $48 billion of investment between 2026 and 2030. And a fair amount of our investment is in our marketplace business, but the incremental $13 billion we announced today is focused on cloud and AI. India is becoming such a significant cloud and AI hub around the world, and we have so much demand here that we're continuing to invest in the country on the cloud side and the AI side as well. We've accounted for roughly 2.8 million direct and indirect jobs in the country, as of 2024, and we're hoping to make that number more like 3.8 million by the end of 2030.
World Cup excitement reached the halls of Norwegian Parliament as lawmakers paused proceedings. The iconic Viking row in support of Norway national football team. The gesture celebrated Norway's return to the FIFA World Cup after a 28-year absence. Mirroring scenes from the stands, parliamentarians joined fans in the traditional rowing motion, showcasing national pride, highlighting how sport can unite a country through its shared history and identity. Two powerful earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude struck Venezuela within minutes. Destruction and the collapse of several buildings in Caracas. Authorities say at least 164 people have been killed and nearly 1,000 injured. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez has declared a state of emergency while operations at Simon Bolivar International Airport have been suspended due to damage. The United States Geological Survey has warned of high casualties and extensive damage as rescue efforts continue. Now let's have a look at the sports news. The India women's national cricket will face Bangladesh women's national cricket team in a key Group A clash of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup at Emirates Old Trafford today. Led by Harmanpreet Kaur, India currently sits second in the group with 2 wins from 3 matches and will be looking to bounce back after a defeat to South Africa. Bangladesh, also with 2 wins, remain in contention but trail India on net run rate. The match begins at 7 p.m. Indian time.
मैनचेस्टर मैदान पर खेला जाएगा, जिसकी शुरुआत भारतीय समयानुसार शाम 7 बजे होगी। हरमनप्रीत कौर की कप्तानी वाली भारतीय टीम के लिए यह मैच बेहद महत्वपूर्ण है। अपने पिछले मुकाबले में टीम इंडिया को दक्षिण अफ्रीका के खिलाफ हार का सामना करना पड़ा था। भारतीय टीम 159 रन का लक्ष्य बचाने में सफल नहीं हो सकी, जिसके बाद सेमीफाइनल की राह थोड़ी कठिन हो गई है। अब टूर्नामेंट में आगे बने रहने के लिए भारत को यह मुकाबला हर हाल में जीतना होगा। भारतीय टीम के बल्लेबाजी करने में अनुभव और युवा जोश का।
And now for the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report in Tura. The minimum temperature was recorded at 23 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 79% with rainfall 2.6 millimeter. Moving on to Shillong, the minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 27 degrees Celsius with relative humidity 73% and rainfall 14 millimeter. Meanwhile, in July, minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 26 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 75%, rainfall 3.9 millimeter. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and July says rain with thunderstorm likely to occur at many places. And now, before we end the news, the headlines once again. Congress gears up for Shillong parliamentary by-election calls for issue-based voting over personality politics. West Garo Hills begins special electoral roll revision, door-to-door voter verification to start from June 30th. Civil Aviation Minister K. Ramohan Naidu inaugurates first Easy Connect flight from Varanasi. And Amazon announces $48 billion investment in India by 2030 after CEO and Jassy meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, viewers, with that, we have come to the end of the news bulletin. Do join us again tomorrow at 9 a.m. for more news update on our breakfast news. Until then, thank you for watching and good night.